You must have heard of the J-Lo versus Mariah feud. Though Mariah Carey's had many feuds with multiple celebrities in the past, this particular feud has spanned through most of her career. Yeah, they despise one another. And it all started from the "I don't know her" interview. Fans first became aware of some signs of a rift between Mariah Carey and Jennifer Lopez when Carey appeared to take a passive-aggressive dig at Lopez during an interview. This dates all the way back to the early 2000s. Carey begins the interview by praising the fellow singer Beyoncé, with whom she describes as a great writer as well as a great singer. Then, when asked about Jennifer Lopez, Carey responds simply, "I don't know her." Despite the fact that Lopez was already a household name at this point, fans were quick to start speculations over the problem between the two beloved celebrities and what that problem might be. Luckily for us, their whole feud has slowly unraveled in front of the world. Turns out their feud started over 2 decades ago. Lopez and Carey have had one of Hollywood's most famous feuds, and it dates back to 2001. Carey released the film Glitter that year, along with the soundtrack, whereas Lopez released her self-titled and second album, J-Lo, that same year. According to Entertainment Tonight, Lopez was becoming a radio and MTV mainstay with her brand new sound, while at the same time, Carey's Glitter failed to please either critics or fans. There were several reasons why Glitter might have flopped. One of those reasons definitely includes Carey's erratic behavior that year. Another major reason was the film's unfortunate timing, as the soundtrack was released on November the 11th, and the film followed soon after. However, Carey started blaming her ex-husband, Tommy Mottola, for the failure, leaving Lopez in the middle. In an extract from her new book, The Meaning of Mariah Carey, the singer talked about this. She claims that her ex-husband, who was also a Sony music executive, used Lopez to sabotage Glitter and exact revenge following their divorce. She said that after hearing her new song, Sony rushed to make a single for another female entertainer on their label, whom she didn't know. Lopez was that entertainer that Carey didn't know. And the single that Carey was talking about? It was the Puerto Rican singer's hit, I'm Real. Carey was also supposed to work with the rapper Ja Rule, but she claims her ex ended up pairing him with Lopez instead, having left her flailing. Apparently, the Jenny from the Block singer was just as surprised as us after the interview. That is because even J-Lo didn't know what was happening. Jennifer Lopez had just started sharing the same label as Mariah Carey and worked with Tommy Mottola, but she may or may not have been aware of what was going on. Mariah Carey and her team were well aware of what had just occurred, so it could be a stretch to believe that J-Lo was unaware. While the Get Right singer has yet to give her feedback on what actually occurred nearly 18 years ago, she appears to be unaffected. And it is said that because she was just starting her music career, she didn't know much about what was going on behind the scenes, because Carey had developed a career at the time. All the attacks supposedly made towards her affected her career. Lopez, on the other hand, was starting off her career and was getting signed to new album deals and movies. Since the infamous 2001 interview, both stars have been asked about it. And yeah, obviously both stars have spoken about it too. Many years after the initial interview, during a 2016 episode of Watch What Happens Live with Andy Cohen, Carey attempted to clear the air. She explained that she had only momentarily met Lopez and that they both actually didn't know each other personally. A couple years later, though, in a 2018 interview with Pitchfork, she changed her stance. When the notorious "I don't know her" statement was brought to light, Carey simply responded saying that she was trying to say something nice or say nothing at all. They don't call her the Queen of Shade for no reason. On the other hand, Lopez told Wendy Williams that she actually has met the multi-octave vocalist many times. She also said that Carey was forgetful for not knowing her. Later, during an interview with Andy Cohen, she explained that she has no ill will towards Carey, although she did admit that the pop star has made not the greatest remarks about her. Nonetheless, she continued to insist that she is a Carey fan and would love to befriend her. So even Lopez had the chance to be petty, and she took the higher road. But it seems like Carey doesn't care much about that. Carey has publicly criticized Lopez throughout the years.
Though Tommy Mottola may very well have orchestrated Mariah Carey's demise in the early 2000s.
She appears to have deemed Jennifer Lopez to be her greatest adversary. The 5-time Grammy winner publicly criticized the Bronx native's singing abilities and her job in many interviews. Mariah has frequently been questioned about Jennifer Lopez after her famous interview went viral. Carey constantly is compared to Lopez, despite having 19 #1 songs and selling millions of albums. It actually got to the point where Mariah had enough and declared that the two do very different stuff. Mariah described herself as a singer and a songwriter, while she described J.Lo as an actress. In a Talk magazine interview, she decided to respond to Lopez's statements of sleeping 8 hours. She said that if she had the luxury of not actually having to sing her own songs, she'd do that too. Now that was a good one. Later in 2002 Larry King interview, Carey was asked about her rivalry with Lopez, and boy did she have something to say. Carey said that Lopez doesn't seem to have anything to do with her. She said that her whole thing was singing and writing songs, stating that singing is, first and foremost, a God-given talent for which she is grateful. She later added that Lopez's thing was something different. Can you believe she actually said that? Even after her glitter defeat was long over, the super vocalist proceeded to critique Lopez. When asked on a radio show in 2005, when asked if she'd sing a duet with Lopez, Carey expressed doubts. After a lot of public shade, anyone would clap back. Though it's been rare, Mariah isn't the only one who's been shady. Lopez was seen browsing through her phone during Mariah's performance at the 2015 Billboard Awards, proving that two can play that game. Later on, in an episode of Watch What Happens Live, she explained her behavior to Andy Cohen. She said that it wasn't intentional and that the whole texting thing, that was not fair, stating that it had been a long performance. There has been so much back and forth through the years, but if you think that that was the last of it, guess what? You'd be wrong. A few years after the last time she publicly threw shade, Mariah Carey released a book detailing her feud with Lopez. In 2020, Carey released her memoir. It was titled The Meeting of Mariah Carey. The book promised a raw and candid look at the singer's insane life, including the ups and downs, triumphs and traumas, debacles and dreams. However, her memoir also addressed her long-running feud with Lopez. She refers to her without naming her straightforwardly, denying to even print her name. Instead, Mariah refers to her as just another female entertainer on Sony, whom she doesn't know. And we gotta say, we are loving this pettiness. So far, this is all we know about why Mariah Carey and Jennifer Lopez hate each other. We'll see you in the next video.